We have officially launched, so welcome to Valorant and welcome back to this channel, Valorant at Midnight. For newer players who are starting Valorant, who may have never played shooters before or even this type of shooter, it can all be a bit daunting. One of these areas is picking an agent to play at the start of every match. This is a big decision as you could be playing up to 25 rounds with them over the better part of the next hour. Allow me to make this decision much easier for you. In this video I'm going to be going over all the agents, who you should be playing and who you should be trying to unlock. Okay, to make sure we're all on the same page, a few things you need to know. On launch we will have 11 agents separated into 4 roles. 5 of these agents will be free to play from the get-go, while the remaining 6 will have to be unlocked by either in-game grinding or paying real cash. Now that we've got the basics covered, there is one last thing. All of the agents are good in their own right. While you will find tier lists online, this doesn't really apply to low elo players, aside from, in my opinion, Viper, Omen and Sova. These 3 agents are more skill dependent than the others and I don't think are good for beginners. You can, however, go out and play whoever takes your fancy, that's all fine. For those of you who have watched my previous video on top 7 tips for beginners, you'll know that I recommended learning 3 characters from different roles. We're going to develop on that in this video. Of the 5 free starting agents, I still believe that Phoenix, Sage and Brim are the first 3 that you should start to play. Phoenix is your stereotypical fragger and he can solo carry in the right hands. He is very stompy low elo and his flashes are very good for taking engages on your own terms, but he does provide a bit of safety with his 2 abilities which can regain him health. The best thing to do with Phoenix is not be predictable, and he does have some of the best lines in the game.
Let me show you how the boss does it.
While I did say to not use tier lists, I think Sage is the single exception to this. No matter what list you look at, she is in a league of her own. Single-handedly the best agent in the game, she provides so much utility through her heals, slows, barrier and of course her ultimate, which revives your teammates, allowing you to erase their mistakes. No team should be without her. Brimstone is a very solid pick for beginners, but I do expect this to change as players learn to rotate around his sky smokes. Now that you have your first 3 agents and you're starting to learn the game, the next few agents you should try and unlock should be Raze, Breach and Cypher. Raze will be your next duelist simply because of her abilities. Her grenades, which can recharge on 2 kills, are extremely powerful and can pretty much net you a kill. She has surprising mobility with her blast packs and her ultimate again is pretty much guaranteed a kill. She's very good for beginners and provides a lot of pressure, probably more so than Phoenix. Breach takes what you know of Valorant and turns it on its head. Most of his skills go through walls. Why is this useful? It pushes back those who are holding angles, which is huge in a game like Valorant. This opens up new lines of play and forces the enemy team to be extremely smart. They either have to give way to Breach or they pretty much die. To back this up, his ultimate is a massive disruption that knocks up and stuns everyone caught. This is especially good versus teams that all filter down one lane or get caught in a tight spot. Cypher is a very good agent to learn once you are familiar with maps, common hold angles and agent skills. This knowledge will dictate where you can place Cypher's cameras on both attack and defense for most effectiveness and allow you to hold points with just a single Cypher. Before we move on too far, some of you may be asking why I haven't mentioned Jett so far. Jett doesn't bring as much utility to her team and therefore isn't as highly regarded. If you're good with her as a player, that's fine. She is, however, a worse Phoenix and Raze simply because she doesn't have the same utility. We're moving into the home stretch, so if you have liked the content so far, please do like and subscribe. Also, do let me know if you're going to be maining anybody and who that will be. Let's discuss Sova and Viper. Most players know that Sova's recon bolt can give you information on the enemy team's whereabouts and that Viper's toxic screen can prevent vision. But knowing how to use both of these on attack and defense is what differentiates players. These characters need more time for you to play and understand before you can be useful to your team. But don't let that stop you. If you want to be better with Sova, you can start off by learning his start of round recon bolts. These can give your team a lot of information and always have it on cooldown. For scenarios where his recon bolts aren't very good, his owl drone can get the job done. The main thing with Sova is for information gathering you have to be active. This is very difficult for beginners, and which is why I don't think he should be your starting agent. Similarly with Sova, Viper is also very skill dependent. On defense, she has quite a few one-way smokes which allow her to hold common angles much easier than other agents, but this requires pre-planning and team coordination. Knowing how far her toxic screen goes can help you learn how to retake sites on defense or set up new angles to throw defenders off when you attack. Omen. Let's not talk about Omen. He's not very highly regarded, as his only utility really is smokes, which aren't as good as Brimstone's, and as his ultimate can be heard by everyone around the map, they can easily play around him. Last but not least is the newly announced Reyna. She seems to be a very high risk, high reward sort of agent, and as of that, not everyone is sure of where she will currently land. For beginners, I do recommend you to stay away from Reyna until post launch and you are more confident in your skills to frag. She seems to be a very selfish character where 2 of her skills only work after she gets kills. She doesn't really seem to bring much utility to the team, and this can be confirmed by Riot Morello. Unfortunately, if you're dead weight, you will be a major hindrance to your team. To summarize, you should start off by playing Phoenix, Sage and Brimstone. They have very good utility for starting agents before you move on to Raze, Breach and Cypher. Once you're more confident in your skills and your game knowledge, definitely pick up Sova and Viper. Jet and Omen are more of your fun characters that rely on your individual skill, and Reyna seems to be extremely high risk, high reward, which isn't very good for a beginner. If this video has helped you decide which agents you're going to play, please do like and subscribe. That would be tremendous for a small channel like me. Okay guys, a quick edit as I was finishing up this video. We have Valorant patch 1.0 live. My list still stands as Phoenix, Sage and Raze are still very strong agents. Jet has had a slight buff with the duration of her cloudburst, which I think makes her a little bit more viable, and of course Omen now has the ability to cancel out of his ultimate, so we'll put a pin in it for now, but I definitely do think there is a place for Omen. This has been the best Valorant agents for you to play, but remember, play who you like. There is no tier list for beginners and everything goes in low elo. Have fun, communicate with your team, and see you in game.